Buenos días a todos, soy Rocío Martín, responsable del mercado de Bélgica, bueno, de las oficinas de Benelux y de Francia. Estamos aquí para presentaros un webinario organizado por nuestra oficina de Benelux en colaboración con Henk Prince, que es el director socio de la feria Second Home International, con ediciones en Bélgica y Países Bajos. Quería dar las gracias a las empresas que estáis como asistentes en este webinario y también dar las gracias a nuestra oficina en Bélgica. Os presento a Enrique Quirós, que bueno, muchos ya conoceréis, que es el director técnico de nuestra oficina. Enrique, sin más te cedo la palabra para que presentes al ponente.
Muy bien, buenos días, gracias Rocío, buenos días a todos. Eh, y nada, simplemente os voy a introducir a Henkian y luego él pasa a dar la presentación. Henkian Prince, tenemos una relación muy estrecha con él ya desde hace tiempo. Él es un experto en el mercado, o en los mercados inmobiliarios de segunda residencia, de hecho, porque tiene contacto estrecho, en especial con Bélgica y Países Bajos en el día a día. Como Rocío ha mencionado, hay diversas ediciones, incluso algunas por duplicado en primavera y otoño, en distintas ciudades de Bélgica y de Países Bajos. Con lo cual, su conocimiento es un conocimiento basado en la práctica, en el día a día y en el contacto con todas las partes, tanto promotores, agentes como compradores. Y bueno, su conocimiento no es solo del destino España, sino que de todos los destinos inmobiliarios, pero digamos que la presencia de España, no voy a adelantar nada, él va a profundizar en esto después, la presencia de España en estas ferias es máxima, es el número uno como destino, y por ello nos va a dar una información, os va a dar una información muy precisa para que tengáis un mejor conocimiento del mercado. Por último, antes de cederle la palabra, recordad que es muy interesante para nosotros y para él en concreto si queréis mantener alguna reunión individual con él tras el webinario, con lo cual tenéis que decirnos quién quiere mantener una reunión individual con él, que puede ser una media hora de reunión, y en ese momento pues nos dais vuestro email, creamos la reunión el día de hoy, o incluso si no puede ser hoy, otro día, y así podréis hablar en profundidad ya y en concreto de vuestra empresa, de vuestros productos con él. So Henke, thanks very much again. Sorry, but I made the introduction in Spanish. And I thank you very much for being here and for our collaboration, which is very warm and very deep. And so we will continue that. And well, you can start the presentation. I have already told the companies that if they are interested, we can arrange an individual meeting after your presentation. So just, yeah, thank you very much and go ahead. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Enrique, for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to tell a little bit about the Belgium and the Dutch second home market. I've been active since 2005 on this market, starting actually on the Belgium market with our show, even though I am Dutch and I were in the office in the Netherlands at the moment. Since 2005, so we've organized over 65 exhibitions so far. We started only with editions in Ghent, the center of Flanders, and we expanded it to a spring and a fall edition, and we added an Antwerp edition to it. In 2010, we acquired the second home shows in the Netherlands, which was close to our home base. So we could rapidly expand with now 3 shows in the Netherlands, 2 in Utrecht, a spring show and a fall show. And well, actually from now and 2 weeks from now, we organize our Maastricht show. Probably difficult for our Spanish to say, but we have some hard languages going on here in the Netherlands. So the Maastricht show is coming up in 2 weeks. So we're preparing that at the moment. And as everybody has not a lot of time, I try to put everything in a short to present the show, the marketing channels, the Belgium and the Dutch market to you. as short as possible. So the presentation will be not longer than 20-25 minutes, I expect. And also what Enrique already informed you about is that I am more than happy to set up a personal meeting, as I know that everybody has their own challenges, and we are as an advisory to help you on these markets, to not only share our marketing channels as exhibitions and online property portals, but maybe also more than willing to help you with other partners on the local market, as we believe that the Belgium and the Dutch market, where we're talking about, especially we're not talking about too much the Benelux market, because the Luxembourg part is not where we're actively present. But the Belgium and the Dutch market will be more than happy to help you, and especially because the Spanish market, the Spanish property market, is the #1 international market to invest in for the Belgium and the Dutch investor. It's been like that, so that's no news. And I'm sure you've seen many Belgians and Dutch around in your region, which is very popular. And I'm gonna try to explain why and to show you some statistics as well. So I will jump into, sorry, to the next sheet. Of course, my name is Henk-Jan Prins. I'm the managing director of the Second Home Group. Why is it a group? Because we have multiple channels. Of course, we're active with our exhibitions, which I just mentioned, in Belgium and the Netherlands. We do a total of 6. And we are also organizing a leading property portal for Belgium and Dutch buyers. So I figured I'm not doing it by myself, so that's why I didn't put a picture there for myself. We do this with the team. And as again, we've been doing this since 2005. Short agenda, just to explain to you why Spain, some sales figures, some main criteria of the buyers, some marketing tools, of course, that's where our expertise comes in, where I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail about the exhibitions and also about online promotions. Maybe you're looking on the picture on the left, you see a lot of snow. This is not Spain, but I do want to show you also the different products that we present and where Belgium and Dutch buyers are interested in. I'm not going to go deep in detail on it, but I think it's good for you that, of course, we are not Second Home Spain. Of course, we have a lot of exhibitors from Spain, from many different regions, but we also have strong markets. Like in Holland, we have a strong Dutch recreational market, which on our show is probably about 1/3 of the exhibitors. But also it's very popular for Belgium and Dutch to invest in snow regions. It's important to know where the Dutch and Belgian buyers are aiming for, because that's easier to adapt to see. Of course, I had to put this one in because this is actually, if I look outside at the moment, what we see. I try to give you a little bit of the feeling that this is what we see and what we don't like at all. A lot of rain, cold temperatures, a lot of wind, and I think that's one of the main elements why the Dutch buyers are willing to invest in Spain. Besides the culture, which the Dutch and Belgians are really positive about, the safety, the accessibility, but of course also the house prices. Most of you probably have been to our countries, but for the ones that have not and do want to know a little bit about it, I think our high temperature is in some regions in Spain the lowest temperature. So I think if we turn around the graph, then it will be in Spain. Of course, we are coming here from, at the moment, it's freezing, it's 0. And if we look into the news now, and I've looked into my friends in Spain from social channels, it's at least 20. One of the reasons why it's very interesting to go to Spain. And I'm jumping quickly over some major differences. I don't think I need words for it, but of course the food is very important for us. And if you compare it to the right pictures, it's quite a difference. Let's get back to the serious part. The serious part is why is Spain so popular for Dutch to invest in? This part is especially for the Dutch focused, and why am I also mentioning it and mentioning TUI here? Because TUI is an important partner of our show and our property portal, as they fly to many cities in Spain, Malaga, Alicante, and many others. And why in such a small country we have that many airports, and all the airports fly to Spain. The airlines fly to Spain. That's why it's so accessible that I think I counted it once. I think we have like around 40 flights per day coming from the region of Netherlands and Belgium going towards Alicante and Malaga. So it's a lot of options. That means it's also good for the prices of the tickets and the accessibility to visit the second home, or if you rent it out, to have the persons who are renting it getting access to the region. With major airports, of course, in Amsterdam, Rotterdam is growing, Eindhoven is actually growing, and two small airports, one in Maastricht, that's also where we're going to have our show in 2 weeks, and in Groningen. And we'll jump towards the same show or the same map for the Belgian buyers. As you can see that there are also in such a small country many airports. The major airport in Brussels with many flights. But Antwerp is also has direct flights to Alicante and Malaga. Ostend is a smaller airport. The Charleroi is for the more the Ryanair flights, and Liège, as we call Luik, on the east side, is also accessible for the flights to Spain. Just why am I showing this? Because people ask me, why do you choose for a certain country to invest in? These are very important criteria. I've had at my show developers from all the way to south of Italy there before, and there if you can see how accessible it is. Well, during the summer it is, but then you have to stop over in Rome, and that makes it less interested for not even buyers to go to their second home, but also for the persons who are renting it. So I think it's also always important, and that's our focus for our show. We have, give you an idea, our between 3,000 and 8,500 potential buyers coming to the show each edition. A lot of them know already that they're interested in Spain, but there are also a lot of visitors that are orientating and see which country fits the best for their investment. This is one of the first steps, so it's very important to know what options there are. And if you are logged in from the Costa del Sol and looking at Malaga, for example, have a look at TUI Belgium or TUI Netherlands, or look at some Skyscanner websites to see how accessible it is. You'll be surprised. Again, already mentioned it before, Spain is it's compared in the Netherlands. I think it's as strong as the local Dutch market. In Belgium, it's for sure is the #1 country to invest in. That's why I want to show you a little bit of the marketing facts. Maybe some of you have seen it already. It's from I could use it from the Spanish Property Insight. It always shows us a good situation about the market, and here some elements why to show you which confirms why the Spanish market is so popular and is still growing. Here you can see on the chart that of course this is at the end of 22, towards that it's still the demand is growing, and probably what I expect, stable. This is of course very interesting to see, because I also wanted to show why there is 2 ways of reading this chart. Of course, as you know, the most Spanish real estate agents and developers are focusing on 3 different regions, major regions. #1 is the UK market. You can also see that on top. The second is the Benelux market. That's of course where my company is active in, and my colleagues from the Nordic is also the three major regions. But I think it's important to see that if you look into the UK, if you calculate it towards the number of inhabitants, then the chart would look totally different. England is big, a lot of Brits, but if you compare it to, for example, the Netherlands, where we're talking about approximately 18 million people, if you extrapolate it towards the number of inhabitants, you will see that probably maybe even Belgium would be on top, and Netherlands will be like the number 2 or 3. So you can see that that's why I wanted to show you this, the official chart on numbers. But if you look into the number of inhabitants, it will be a total different chart again. In terms of growth, which is of course very nice for me to show because that's the country where we're active in, and which is also one of the most growing markets at the moment, is the Netherlands. The foreign demand, you can see it's interesting chart to see it this way. It doesn't mean that if you read the Belgium that's somewhere in the middle, that the Belgian market or the Swedish market is less popular. But I think if you compare the markets, the Netherlands is now strong because it is a growing demand. It says a growth in terms of growth. If you look into the Belgian market, it's very stable. It will be always, it's been like this for every year since I've been active on this market. I think the Belgian market is always stable in the middle, which means that it's a very strong and stable market. Maybe not new for you. I did see it, so I added it to the presentation. I think here you can see the popularity of the different regions in Spain. Interesting to see. Of course, some regions are bigger, so it can give a little bit of a different graph for it. But here you can officially see that the Valencian community on the Costa Blanca is at the moment for foreign buyers, because this is not based purely on the Holland and Belgium market, but this is on the total foreign market. And of course, the Costa del Sol Andalusia region are the most popular regions to invest in for the Belgian and the Dutch buyers. Interesting to see budget-wise, because I think it's, of course, many of you have a variety of products of real estate from starting maybe 150, 200,000 euros and up. Interesting facts here. Interesting to see our neighbors from Denmark that they are leading in this. So it's interesting to see, but I will jump over it because it's difficult to do to get conclusions out of it. Of course, we want to show you how to approach the Belgian and the Dutch buyers in the future, but that's something that's our expertise. Of course, we don't sell products ourselves. We just assist with the marketing channels that are within our company. As now we are the leading second home property show in Europe, and I am using quite some visuals, because then I think it's always good to show you a good impression about what to expect. If you haven't visited our show, you'll be more than welcome to come and visit, and to give you a tour with me or with one of my colleagues to show you. So always, if you're considering a show on a certain market, now I'm not even talking about just a show in Holland and Belgium, but it could also be in any other country, I would always recommend to first visit the show. Visit the show, walk around. I always tell my relations who come and visit, take pictures, get impressions, and you can see that many exhibitors promote their products in a similar way. Some of them do it in a more unique way. We are more than happy to advise you to share what we've been experiencing in the past. Here I am mentioning, so you can see it again, the seasons that we have. We work with the spring and the fall season. Our spring shows are actually the first one in the MEC Maastricht is starting in 2 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks, the last weekend of January. Flanders Expo Ghent, it's usually end of February, beginning March, and the biggest one in the Netherlands is in the Jaarbeurs Utrecht. It's always in mid-March, probably 2 weeks, usually 2 weeks between, 1 weekend in between the Ghent and the Utrecht show, and another one in Antwerp in June. And then we follow that again in October, 2 shows, Utrecht and Ghent again. So you can see also in the picture here, it's a variety of different countries. It's not only Spain, even though it's still the #1 international or outside of Holland to invest in. You can see here Bulgaria, we have Portugal, Italy. It's always important for us to have the supply and demand level correctly. And for us, the main goal for us for a future buyer that visits our show, that they get the second home feeling, how we call it, that we make them even more enthusiastic about investing in a second home and maybe in Spain. That's why we have, for the experience partners, that's why I showed you the picture here of our Contador Andaluz, who's cutting the Spanish ham. And giving this for free to visitors. He walks around with a little bit of a focus, of course, on Spain. We have that also with, for example, to give you an idea of the Oysterman, that's more for the Dutch products. And so that's why we have some other partners at our show that help us with the full experience for our buyers. Important also, here you can see on the right bottom that TUI is one of our important strong partners that helps us, for example, do promotions in airplanes to visit the second home show. Seminars is very important for us because, of course, it's as we are presenting at least 20 different countries at our show, all the rules and regulations per country differ. And even if I know in generally quite a lot about the different countries, I would never go more in detail about it because it might change. And that's why we have experts per region. I did search to change some pictures in this presentation because this was actually a presentation for people, future buyers interested in Spain. As you can see, it's popular that this presenter is more a financial expert who also tells us the possibilities to invest and how to or get a mortgage in Spain or arrange it in the Netherlands. But everything to assist the real estate agents to do their work as good as possible. Again, I started this presentation with also showing a picture in Austria in the snow. I think it's always good to know what kind of products there are. This is in the local Dutch market where we actually build recreational homes within the exhibition hall. So a lot of visitors, even if they would come for Spain, it's interesting to have a look to see the designs. Everything is in there. The kitchen works. Everything. The bed has been made up. As you can see in the bottom left, that there are actually gardens being implemented on the show. So it does give the show a lot of more extras to orientate about. Important. Wine. Wine is the common thing for all countries. As you can see, it's a popular area at our show. We offer all our visitors a free glass of wine. Of course, visitors don't come to the show for the wine, but what we love to see is that if they are interested in, for example, to invest in Spain, that they can drink a Spanish wine, hold the glass, walk through the alleys and talk to you as a future exhibitor maybe at the show. Yeah, it's a bad example of the wine. It's Argentinian wine, but it's meant to be for the Spanish market. Maybe you'll be surprised that you'll see a car here at our second home show. Just we are always very clear and transparent in our partnerships with these kind of companies. What they do is they can arrange the stand at our show. The exchange is that they invite their major customers to the show to introduce them to a new car. This is, by the way, a different show, so we never work with different car brands at one edition, but one could be in the spring, one in the fall, and one a year later. Here's Audi, Volkswagen, and Peugeot. So they invite their relations who bought a new car and to introduce them to the second home market. As you know, that second home buyers can be all over. It's difficult to approach. It's also the most difficult part of our job is to get the right visitors in, the right visitors that are future buyers for our exhibitors. This is our breaking record, as 2020 was a very good year for us. Also have to tell you that you will understand that the year before was our worst year for us due to COVID, as we were not allowed to organize shows in Belgium and the Netherlands. But it rapidly got better, and we were happy to inform the market in our newsletter last week that we reached over 26,000 visitors at our shows in Belgium and the Netherlands. Some more pictures of where you can see also the wine bar, a company selling Spanish real estate on the middle top, and the busy Sunday afternoons, which are always the busiest moments of the show. Important, this is not to warn or exhibitors or warn the Spanish market, this is something that a limitation of Spanish exhibitors has been done since a few years already. It's not to be an arrogant organizer, but it's also to protect the market. We've arranged it and set this up together with our major Spanish real estate agencies and developers that already have been at our show for many years. The most important for us is to level the supply and demand level. If we, for example, see that 40% of our visitors are coming to invest in Spain, it would be unbalanced if we would have 60% of our exhibitors presenting Spanish products. So we try to balance that always. And in addition to that, which is also, of course, very important, is that we see, especially last year, a lot of buyers, maybe your buyers, seeing that a real estate agent is the perfect job there is. Of course, I can agree with that, but they just see the real estate agent drive around, getting a nice lunch and dinner and having the best job there is. They forget about the investments that they need to do their marketing to reach the potential buyers. And as you would all confirm and see on the Spanish market as well, that it's easy for them to get a deal with a developer. Maybe not such a good deal and the same deal as you're having, but still they would accept maybe a small percentage, a small fraction of your percentage. But they could steal away the future buyers, which is not even the worst part, but the quality of the real estate agent drops. That's why we say, okay, it's even we are a commercial company, don't get me wrong, but to have those buyers starting to sell, how we call it, is not good for the quality for the Spanish market. So if they are starting up their own real estate agency professionally, it's fine. But if they just want to do it as an extra and in the weekend they just have a small website with a few properties and booking a stand at our show, I think that's not good for the quality of the show, not good for the quality of the Spanish market. That's why we set a minimum of 3 editions for all Spanish exhibitors in order to exhibit at our show. So many of the buyers starting to sell will stop, and they are not willing to invest as they usually don't have a proper marketing plan, and the professional real estate agencies and developers do. This can be a mix, by the way, for the 3 editions between Dutch and or Belgium editions. So this can be 3 editions in one period, can be 3 editions in 1 year, to choose within the 6. So that's why we only want, and our aim is, of course, it's difficult and we cannot guarantee it, but the focus, and as far as we've experienced in the past years, it does work quite okay to only have professional real estate agents and developers being presented at our show. Pure for the quality of the Spanish market, and preferably companies that also have a serious focus on the Benelux market. Non-real estate exhibitors. Of course, we also have non-real estate exhibitors that can assist in the sales process. As what they do is they don't sell their products, so your future buyers or the visitors of my show can get more information about the financial elements of investing in Spain, for example. That's why we have here the ABN Bank as an example of a Dutch bank that is mainly active in the Netherlands. But we also have a Spanish bank being presented at our show, or like maybe some of you heard of Mas, who was a Dutch person living in Costa del Sol, working in the Costa del Sol, also advising about the financial elements. Actually, it's the same person who was doing the presentation which I showed you earlier. The choose of an exhibition doesn't start by the opening hour of the show. Why am I saying that? We have a lot of exhibitors that continuously are being present throughout the second home. As maybe you've seen banners like this on websites from our exhibitors, where it says in Dutch, bezoek ons gratis, visit us for free. They can click on it and they can download a free entry ticket, and the exhibitor, the concerning exhibitor, automatically receives a copy of the ticket. That means if we're 3 months before the show and someone downloads a ticket and you get a free copy of the ticket, that you can contact them right away. Could say, hello, Henk-Jan, you have downloaded a ticket to visit me in Utrecht in 3 months, but that's still quite a while. Maybe I can give you some information, plan in a call, or maybe invite you to come to Spain already. So that means that we can sometimes have exhibitors that already have a successful show before the show opens. So it's part of the whole process. That's why a lot of exhibitors, for example, in Ghent, sign in the spring and the fall, and they have this online. We only change the banners after the spring edition with the new date for the fall. But it is an important marketing tool that is free in addition to the participation of the show. Here some more impressions about our show, which you can also see a little bit. Why I want to show you the left picture is the different way of presenting themselves. We call the black iron colored stand truss stands, which is very clear to have a really large high visual on the back, perfectly to promote a certain region or to add a lot of properties on the back. The costs are quite low to change the back visual, so usually exhibitors always have a new one to use. On the top right, it's a big exhibitor from Costa Blanca, and I think they also have offices in the Costa del Sol at the moment. That's the part that I wanted to inform you. I don't want to get too much more in detail. That's why I also skipped the previous page about the different stand times, because it's more to inform you about the show. Of course, I'll be more than happy to inform you about the different stand types or advise you about show opportunities. But I think for now, I want to keep it as short as possible and to show you about 2 parts of the marketing elements. It's the property portal, which we're coming up now. Our property portal is a very important channel that we focus on Belgium and Dutch buyers, where we received over 20,000 online property information requests in 2022. The system, how it works, is quite easily and transparent, which that's the success of the property portal. We changed it a few years ago around that we don't ask advertisers for a fixed fee to advertise in for a certain number of properties on our property portal per year. But what we do is we work on a pay-per-lead, no cure, no pay model. That means pretty much that if we don't do our work, you don't pay. If we do our work, you do pay. So it's very clear and transparent. Why do we do it? Because we have a lot of traffic coming to our website. It's a combination for the website, of course, for the property show and for online, but very transparent. Here you can also see that pretty much 47% of the property requests are for Spanish real estate. Out of the total of approximately 1,500 monthly information requests. Of course, it's not very stable because in the summer we have a little bit less, and in the December month is also a little bit less. And we have some months that we are towards the 2,000 property or information requests online. The little circles that you can see there is one of the biggest property portals also for the first property market in Belgium is Imoflan. If you go to their website and you click on the international products, it's a feed comes from us. So that means we also work with an affiliate model. So that means that the pay per lead price, per certain percentage goes to the partner who generates the lead. So that means we have a large, it's not only the reach of second home channels itself, but it's also expanding towards partners. The different ways of promoting our online is individual products. That's the one on the below, where you can see that says the property being presented. Pretty much 90% of all the properties come in through an XML file, which we can add and check free of charge. And on the top right, you can see that we also have the opportunity of the possibility to present a new build product, which the big difference is that you can see a price range starting from until a little bit of a different presentation, and you can add more options to it. We can easily push these products into our market. So if you have a new build development that you need extra attention from us, then we can plan it in a mailing together with other countries with new build developments, and which is almost a guarantee to success. Especially I can say that for products on the Spanish market, and of course if your the price range is properly. That's why the villa on the bottom is maybe a bad example because it's quite a high budget. But a new build like on the top right will score very good. Again, where I started with, and also what Enrique mentioned at the start, is that we'll be more than happy either with me or with one of my colleagues to plan a personal meeting with you if you're interested in doing business on the Belgium and or Dutch market, to share and to think what options, how to present yourself, how to adapt to the local market. And with all products that you see at our show, we can assist you with either direct contact with some of the suppliers, but in order for us, it's the most important focus is to always have an exhibitor that stays with us and not just for one edition. And in order for that, you need to be successful from the start. And that's when we can put in the combination of our online channels and sorry, only to focus only on the online and the exhibition. So again, we'll be more than happy to plan in a call with you personally. You can do that through Extenda or directly to me. So please let me know what you prefer. Don't also forget to follow us on social, where we're quite active at the moment. And we, of course, hope to meet you live at Second Home Expo. thank you very much for your time to let me show you a little bit about our local markets and hope you understand a little bit of the concept of the exhibitions and the online channels, and of course the buyers interested in the Spanish market.
Thank you very much, Henk. It has been very insightful, your presentation. We have learned about the Netherlands and the Belgian market. No sé si tenéis alguna pregunta o si preferís, hacerla durante las reuniones a las que podéis tener acceso. Como ya os hemos dicho, podemos organizar reuniones privadas con Henk para contarle vuestro caso particular y poder hablarle de cómo, de qué producto tenéis y cómo es la mejor forma de ofrecerlo a estos mercados. Si no hay ninguna pregunta, Enrique, no sé si quieres cerrar un poco este webinario.
Sí, yeah, well, thanks very much, Henk. It has been very updated, very interesting. And yeah, it confirms that the Belgium and the Netherlands are the best markets for the second home sector in Spain, and especially in Andalusia. Yes, si tenéis alguna pregunta, por favor, adelante, nos decís y os podemos dar el micrófono y lo hacéis directamente. But I have a question myself, actually. Yes, concerning specifically Andalusia, we know that the most popular area is Costa del Sol, for sure, within Andalusia. But our idea within Extenda is to continue promoting Costa del Sol, but also to make the Belgian and Dutch buyers to discover other areas. So what do you think about these other costas, other areas, not only by the seaside, but also inland? What do you think, Henk, about that?
I think it is always good to it's focusing on what kind of price range of the products there are. I think it's always to see if it's a goal to invest in the Costa del Sol to get a return on rental and to invest with a focus on investment. I think it's, of course, I know the price setting in the Marbella region, for example, which is quite high and maybe not so accessible for all Dutch and Belgian buyers. So if you would focus on other regions, of course, I know you'll be farther away either from the coast or farther away from the Malaga airport, for example. I think there is that would work very good because for every product there is a demand, and especially if you're not changing the temperature in the Costa del Sol by going a little bit an hour up north or more south. That's why I was recently also at the Costa de la Luz. You can see it's less developed compared maybe to the Costa del Sol. But we can see on a property portal, which we were checking last week, that there was also an increasing demand for that region. So of course it's not as popular yet as Costa del Sol or, for example, a Costa Blanca. But if you can compare it, that's why to go a little bit back into my presentation of why are Belgium and Dutch interested in the Spanish market. Well, it's the temperature, and if it's from the Costa Blanca to the Costa del Sol, it's a little bit of a temperature range, but it's still good enough, and that's why, for example, also to show you why maybe the Costa Brava is less popular, even though it's a beautiful region. I talked about my own experience, but the temperature-wise, it's of course a shorter season, and if it's a shorter season, it's less good for the rental part and maybe for the return on investment. But I do believe that we also have exhibitors from more inland, not all on the coast, and they're also successful on our markets. So I can confirm that it's very interesting to have a wider region than just let's say the part from Malaga to Marbella.
Okay, thanks very much. Sí, decir también a todos los presentes que Extenda ya llevamos participando varios años en Second Home y alternamos un año Países Bajos, Utrecht, y un año Bélgica, Gent. El año pasado ha sido Utrecht en 2022 y en este año tenemos programado participar en Gante en la edición de otoño, que es el 14 y 15 de octubre. Contamos con todos vosotros para estar presentes y hacer un stand más imponente, más grande. Este año además queremos intentar hacer alguna participación en cuanto a los seminarios. No dar un seminario técnico, que eso ya hay otros que lo dan, pues, sobre la financiación, cuestiones jurídicas, etcétera, pero hacer algo atractivo, algo vistoso, para hacer sentir al visitante que Andalucía está presente, no solo con un stand, sino también que haya un toque de la gastronomía, de la alimentación, bebidas, la cultura, digamos, de Andalucía, porque cuando alguien compra, lógicamente compra el todo, compra una propiedad, pero con toda la cultura que viene alrededor en la zona, ¿no? Entonces, espero que os animéis a participar. Yes, Henke, I'm just saying the companies here that we are participating in Ghent in fall, so that we are just 1 year participating in Netherlands, in Utrecht, like past edition, and then the following year in Ghent. That's our idea, to continue doing that. And for this edition in fall 23, we want to make some extra participation, not only the stand, but also in the seminar, but in a cultural way, not technical, in a cultural way, just to make the buyer, the potential buyer, to know further about Andalusia, the gastronomy, the culture, and everything. So we will talk later on about that. Thanks very much again.
We have a
Great.
question, sorry, from Nabil Radoui. They want to promote their mortgage products to the speaking French customers from Belgium, as it's a very important market. How can you can help us on this product? I don't know if this is a very technical question. Maybe you prefer to set up a meeting.
No. I'll first of all, of course, I will prefer to set up a meeting, but I can be short on that. Of course, the Ghent edition is mainly Flemish-speaking visitors coming in, and a small percentage of the French. But still, if you look into other online channels, that you can automatically, it's been translated to the French. As Belgium's official language is French, Flemish, and officially German as well, but that's a small percentage. So yes, I would, of course, I can help with the promotion, especially online. So I'll be more than happy to plan a call in to discuss those details.
De acuerdo, Nabil. Entonces, si te parece, me escribes un correo, te escribo ahora un correo para ver cuáles son tus tramos horarios y para ver si los podemos coordinar con los de Henkan y así tenéis una reunión y él te puede explicar un poquito mejor cómo te puede ayudar. ¿Vale?
Sí, la reunión
Ok.
puede ser hoy mismo, o ahora mismo en un rato, o bien otro día, si por cualquier motivo pues no les viene bien hoy, y lo organizamos nosotros entre ambas partes.
De acuerdo, pues nada, muchísimas gracias a todos. Thank you very much, Henkan. It has been very useful your presentation, and I hope everybody will be interested in participating on the second home commercial trip that we are organizing for this year. We will organize as well this meeting with this company that is interested in talking privately with you. Muchas gracias a todos los asistentes, gracias también a nuestra oficina en Bélgica, a Enrique, a Natasha y a Patricia por haber organizado este webinario. Y bueno, pues esperamos poder veros en la misión directa que vamos a organizar para el mes de septiembre, octubre, Enrique,
Octubre,
perdona,
14 y
octubre,
15 de octubre, sí.
12 y 15 de
October.
octubre. Muy bien, muchísimas
Yeah.
gracias a todos.
Muchas gracias a todos. Gracias.
Okay. Thank you for
Thanks.
your time, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks very much, Henk.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.